window.
Hello, traders. Gary Wagner here with the Gold Forecast. It is Friday. Happy Aloha Friday, as we say on the islands. It is June the 10th, approximately 1 p.m. in Honolulu, Hawaii. I am having extended reports both in gold and silver, and therefore the delay in getting this out to you, but I think it's worth the wait. We do have gold, which traded substantially lower as we traded in the marketplace itself, closing at 1532.10, closing down or off about $12.20. Now, interestingly enough, when we take a look at the low of the day, and let me go ahead and get my data pointer, you know that we're in at 1488. You know that we have stops at 1525, and I am showing the low of the day at 1525.88. So in fact, just by the skin of our teeth, we remain active within this market. We in fact did not get stopped out, but we came darn close to it. There's no doubt. We came very, very close to it. Now, in terms of the recent activity, my belief is that we are really range bound in terms of, on a fundamental basis, really awaiting what kind of news is going to come from our Federal Reserve. We have a very, very critical Federal Open Market Committee meeting that's going to be held at the end of the month. And the belief is, and I believe this to also be the case, that we are awaiting to see what Bernanke has to say in terms of the QE2. Is that going to end? The quantitative easing program, and that's slated to end this month. But from the comments he made in Atlanta this week, he's saying that additional stimulus will be needed. So we'll have to see how that pans out. And in terms of that, the market is kind of in a stall or a stagnant position itself. Now, when we take a look at some straightforward technicals, because that's the one particular area that tends to confuse me a lot less than listening to fundamentals in the market, and we look at our basic Fibonacci retracement, and that Fib retracement I'm putting is simply from the bottom, this low at 1461, to this most recent top at 1550, right in that area. And what you can see is that it tested but was able to close above 1530. And 1530, as you know, I have been talking about as being a absolutely critical level, and a level in which we should see support being drawn in the market. However, we need to add something new to that, and that is we now have some pretty definitive resistance, and that resistance is right here at the top, and that's at 1449 to 1450. Let me go ahead and pull up our intraday chart. Traders, we are looking at in intraday in candlestick format, 628 minutes per candle, and it is clearly evident the top that we had seen in this market, as we take a look at the fact that it's really almost a rounded top when we look at it in this way. The other thing is, as I talked about yesterday, I simply call it a scouting party. It's a term that Steve Nissan coined, in which you will have attempts for, in a bullish run, you will have attempts where the bulls will test the fortitude of the bears as they push into new territory. And the idea behind it is that if you're finding resistance, of course, it's unable to sustain and break through resistance. However, if you have a market which can go and then close above that, Steve Nissan labeled that a beachhead. In other words, that is a dynamic change in where resistance now becomes support. Are we at that level? Absolutely not. In fact, that resistance has proved over this week to be fairly superlative. So my next question therefore becomes, where might this market in fact then trade down to? And as you can see, we have our 76% retracement level. And realize, traders, this retracement level that I am drawing is simply this last correction down from our record top here at 1577 to 1461, and then our various levels. 78 has absolutely produced what we see to be resistance. 1533, that's our 61% level. We are trading below that, but there should be support. And then the real support level, as I said, is going to come right around the area of 1530. And as you can see, we have closed just a little bit above that. Now, there also is now a new Fibonacci retracement that we can enter into the market because we now have this defined top. So that what we will simply do is take a look from the bottom of this market, 1461, up to this top here. This top here is right around 53, 52, and then take a look at the different areas that we see in play. Now, traders, I've gone ahead and added those, and as you can see, again, this retracement that we're drawing is a little bit different because we are simply going from this low here to this high in here. And what you can see is that the 23% level is 1531. That's right here. That corresponds, of course, to that 61% level. Again, what do I look for when I look at Fibonacci retracements and look at multiple time cycles is what we call Fibonacci harmonics, and we have that here. This should prove to be support, and we will see. If not, we have a protective stop in place, which was really almost hit today. I'm quite surprised that it wasn't, but here's what I'm looking at. As you can see, this correction wasn't straight down. We had that pennant breakout. We're having a market that's trading in a tight or consolidated range. My sentiment is when we take a look at it, we are trying to make sense of where we are going to put, is this 1 and 2, 3, was this 4? Are we in our final fifth part of it? That's probably not true. We're probably going to look more at a pennant formation, but we will have to see what the market wants to do as we begin our trading week next week. Again, traders, we're long at 1488. Market closed 1531. The stop came within 88 cents of hitting us, but it did not, so we are still long in this market, and we'll have to see what next week brings. This has been Gary Wagner, wishing you, as always, good trading, and we will talk to you on Sunday for another daily review. I'm also adding at the conclusion of this video, after the credits, a alternate count in silver. So for those who are looking at silver and don't subscribe, it's something that you might find of interest. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Many sights to see, and when I look in my window, so many different people to be, that it's strange, so strange.